Thank you. I'd like to go back and speak for a moment to the process. We've taken quite a lot of criticism from the Castro community and then the Fairmont community and then finally the Richmond Annex community for our inability to reach out and touch every home. Let me tell you that I have been a participant in this district since 1990 when my daughter started kindergarten at Castro Elementary School. I have never seen anyone make the kind of effort we have made regarding this process. I have never seen a superintendent, I have never seen staff step out into the community and have people yell at them and have people pointing fingers at them. I have never seen them step back and listen and make charts and respond and attempt to respond. We have simply never done this before. Now, I hope we do it again. And I think when we do it again, we'll do it better. We initially started out saying, well, the people who would be most concerned with this were the people whose kids went to Portola or whose kids would be going to Portola. So we sent out notices with all the kids. We sent out notices to all of the families who have kids in our schools. We know now that that was a mistake. We did sort of think that the word would get out, and of course it did. That became our fault. In the meantime, I'm certainly not trying to defend any of the mistakes we made, but I am telling you that this process was a new process for the West Contra Costa Unified School District, and I think it will not be the last time we do this, and I think we'll do it again better. In the meantime, we were not asking you, the community, to make this decision. The board knows very well that we are responsible for this decision. We are the ones who will decide which community, which students, which grade configurations happen here. We want your input. We want to know what you care about. And so we sent our staff out to the community and said, find out what they care about. And we found out. We didn't ask you to figure out a CEQA report. We didn't ask you to do a traffic analysis. And we didn't send our staff out there with traffic analysis, which are very expensive, for 4 or 5 different possibilities, maybe 8 or 10 possibilities. We went out there to say, what do you guys think? And we learned some things about what you think. And in the meantime, Mr. Brown didn't go to any of the meetings. Ms. Miles went to one of the meetings. I think Ms. Cronenberg went to 2 or 3 of the meetings. Mr. Ramsey went to a couple of meetings. He went to every meeting. I went to 3 of the meetings. So we did listen. We showed up and we listened. And our staff certainly showed up and listened. And I would like to very, very much thank Mr. Edmondson, Mr. Savage, and Dr. Harder, who went out time after time after time and listened to people. I think you did a great job. I thank you very much. Now, one of the things we think we know is that we need to educate middle school age students in the city of El Cerrito, Kensington, the Annex, and from Washington School and from Steed School. That's the catchment area. We need to do something with those kids between the time they get out of the 5th or 6th grade where they are and the time they start as freshmen at either El Cerrito High or Kennedy High. Now, last year, as Mr. Ramsey said, we went through an exhaustive study of reconfiguration of grades. It certainly was hard for me. It was a very difficult study. At least Mr. Ramsey and I think, took quite a beating on that one. I wouldn't go back and change my vote because I think my vote was sound. It was made on financial data. It was made on staffing data. It was made on an understanding of what happens with programs. I appreciate the fact that the people who were on the K-8 committee, a small group of people, continue to come back to our meetings. I now know your names. It's been a pleasure to meet you. You are extremely tenacious. I will ask the other board members to weigh in, but I think, at least for the next 2 years, that we're done with this discussion. I think we're not going to build K-8 schools. Now, when I'm done talking, I'll ask people when we take another pass here to weigh in. And if there are 3 board members, another one besides Mr. Ramsey and myself, who say, we're not going there, we're not going to build K-8s, we're not going to put our money there this time, our staff will be able to take that, and I hope that you'll be able to understand that for the moment, that's the decision. There is a huge amount of data out there for those of you who want to go back and look at it. Let me just tell you that when people leave our district, rather than go to our middle schools, they go to Albany Middle School, they go to King in Berkeley, they go out to Lafayette. They're not going, for the most part, to K-8 schools. They're going to better middle schools, which brings me back to that famous world-class middle school slogan. I have said behind closed doors and to a number of my staff, our staff, that I think that we can be the best district in the Bay Area. And one of the ways we'll know that is when people from Albany and Berkeley and Lafayette and Orinda are driving over here to send their kids to our schools. And they will be going to our middle schools. So the question becomes, where shall we put this famous middle school? And it's not an easy choice. I don't know what all of the options are. I also agree that we will not be putting that middle school at Castro Elementary School. I think that Castro Elementary School is a wonderful place. I certainly spent 2 kids go all the way through there, so I guess I spent about 9 years on the PTA at Castro Elementary School. So I'm kind of invested, as are many of you, and I also have lived in that neighborhood and walked up and down those streets and just don't see us putting a middle school there. I don't see a drop-off zone there. I don't see buses there. I don't see a lot of traffic there. So I won't be voting to put a middle school at Castro. I won't do that. In the meantime, we do have some difficult choices because, once again, we don't have enough open space in the city of El Cerrito. And I am hoping that our staff will look carefully at the other possibility, perhaps bring us back something a little more concrete about what it might actually look like if we did the Fairmont Alvarado thing, and how we might make that into a winning situation for our middle school students and for our elementary school students at Fairmont. And I am hoping that we'll see some actual studies done, some inquiries done about what, if any, open land is available to us in the city of El Cerrito or in the nearby ends of Richmond, where we might put a school that would be accessible to all of the students in that catchment area. So I think I probably talked a long time. Let's make another pass. Mr.